Hello, and welcome to Sporty's Pilot Shop Microsoft Flight Simulator 101 series. The purpose of today's video is to focus on what do you do your first time turning on Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. There are hours we could devote towards configuring of controls or changing of weather or even logging certain flights. But today's video is of the idea that we've connected our hardware, we've got our computer up and running, we've downloaded the program. Now what do we do? So here we are on the home page. I'm going to start by heading on over to the controls page, and I've already got a couple controls plugged in. I've got my keyboard, I've got my mouse, I've got one of my throttle quadrants, and then my rudder pedals. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug in my yoke just to show how it populates on this page. And it's recognizing it. There we go. Alpha Flight Controls. So I've just plugged this piece in. I'd say majority of flight simulator pieces out there today, as soon as you plug them in, they will already have their settings. As you can see, this one does. Now again, we're not going to get into how to configure this for all the types of airplanes in the system. We just want to go fly, but we can verify the yoke I just plugged in is showing up on the controls. So next step, we're going to go ahead and choose an airport to fly out of. We'll head to the world map, and I'm going to begin by clicking on the aircraft options. Now we have the premium deluxe version here, so you can see we've got about 30 different aircraft to choose from. But because I did majority of my training in a Cessna 172, we're going to go ahead and jump in that airplane for today's video. Alright, so we've got our airplane chosen. Next, where do we want to fly out of? I'm going to go ahead and type in KLUK for Cincinnati Municipal Airport, which is about 5 miles west of Claremont County Airport. And on the right, you can see we have our runways. I'm going to choose 21 left. I will set as departure. And as you can see, winds are out of 270 at 2 knots. So we've got our aircraft chosen, our airport. Let's go fly. Okay, so here we are at Lunken. We have automated visibility, our time, our wind, and our altitude. And we can go ahead and hit ready to fly and jump in the airplane. So default setting is we're on the runway, engine is running, and parking brake is engaged. No matter which airplane you jump in, the parking brake will be engaged just for their safety. I'm going to go ahead and pan down by using the right click on my mouse. As you see, it changed my view. I'm going to go ahead and test my throttle. So if you look at the throttle knob on the screen, it's moving in and out. Confirm that that piece is working. And I'm going to go ahead and disengage our parking brake so we can go flying. Parking brake is released. I'm holding my right click so I can pan back up to a view I like. Being able to see our RPMs at the bottom and then also our 6-pack. And we're ready to go fly. So let's go full throttle and take off. Alright, gauges are in the green and airspeed is alive. And there's rotation. And we're airborne. Alright, so as we climb out, we can change our pitch to increase our airspeed. Now, if you have a yoke that is recognized by Microsoft Flight Sim, you'll notice there's a hat switch on the top. This allows you to look forward, as I just did, and change my view to where I'm sitting up on my seat. Now I'm moving it backwards to take a more relaxed seating. We can also look to our right if we want to see the airport slowly disappearing underneath us. There we go. And then we can also look to our left to see the trees. Alright, so we've gotten to a decent altitude. I'm going to go ahead and start a turn to the west, which should take us towards downtown Cincinnati. Alright, and we can make out the downtown skyline at about our 12:30 to 1 o'clock. All right. Now, another view that I really like when sightseeing is the exterior camera setting. Now, that by default is the end button on your keyboard. And as you can see, here we are outside the airplane. I like it because it gives you a much wider view of the surrounding area while also giving you some instrument indications. We have our airspeed, engine RPMs, which you can see I'm pulling back just a little bit. We have our fuel, AOA, flaps, trim settings, vertical speed, altitude, and then also our heading and heading bug in the top left. So again, we could spend hours going into all the details and everything this program can do, but today was just to get you airborne, show you how to fly in your first 5 minutes, and hopefully this will help you to getting digitally airborne. We thank you for your time. We hope you'll tune back in for future videos and have fun flying.